Thanks, Fiona. So like Fiona said, my name is Katerina Messologitis. You almost got it. everybody screws up. But so for the past 2 years, I've been working with these great people, which the bottom people are right there. So Tegra Longstaff, Tegan O'Neill, Zach Angelini, and Abiel Mangar have been working with me to provide solar power for a rural village in Ghana. And Ian definitely pinpointed the biggest issue that a lot of NGOs have is that they go in, put in a system, and then leave and don't monitor it. They don't effectively and successfully teach the community how to run the system and fix it. So one of the big issues is electricity, as you can see. So lots of electricity up in the north area and very little in Africa and South America. So my focus is right here in Ghana and right over here in New Hampshire. So my team, Zach and I, went to Ghana for the first time last August, and we had a few purposes for this first trip, because when we first started doing this project, we said, oh, great, we're going to do this project in 1 year, we're going to design the system and then implement it. But then once we got into the more specifics of our project, we realized, well, we don't know what materials are available, we don't know what the energy demand of all of these devices are, because they currently don't have any electricity at this one school. So when we went in August, we wanted to talk to solar panel companies, because we didn't want to purchase materials from the United States and then ship them over there, because one, that's a terrible environmental cost, but it's also a huge cost on us as well to ship everything over there. And we weren't going to be supporting the Ghanaian economy, which we also didn't want to do, which we also wanted to do, sorry. So when we went to these 4 companies that we interviewed, we asked them what their views were on their environmental impact of their company, as well as how much experience they have in communities that have minimal experience or background knowledge on solar power. And we found this one great company who has actually had a lot of experience with communities that don't really have a lot of knowledge on solar power. And this isn't them, but this is one of the other companies called Solar World, I believe. So then, once we talked to all the companies, we went directly to the village, and if I didn't mention the name of the village, it's To Palime, which is in the Volta region, and they're not even on the map right now, which is kind of cool. That was a lot of fun to try to navigate around to get there, especially with no GPS or anything. That was fun. So when we got there, we realized that there wasn't just one village that we were going to be working with. This one village of To Palime is a part of 8 villages in the grand communities of Palime. And so we met with all of the chiefs, we got their approval, but we didn't only get the approval of To, we got the approval of all 7 other chiefs, because we wanted it to be a community system. And we wanted to make sure that everybody was on board with this one idea that we had. So we talked with the chiefs to see what their biggest challenge was, what they thought that the solar power system would do for their community. So then, this was the most exciting part, where we went to go talk to the kids, talk to the parents who will be directly benefited by the system. So the first thing that we asked them was, can you write down or tell us what you think energy is? And the translator he looked at us with a blank face. He said, well, what do you mean energy? and Zach and I are sitting back saying, oh gosh, they don't have a translation for energy, which is the whole foundation of our project. So we had to translate it over to electricity or power, but we didn't want that restriction, because you can use energy in a lot of other ways, to dry clothes, to grow your crops, and all of that. So then we did a few more activities with the kids, which was a great fun. So we came back to the United States with all this information, and we also wanted to involve kids here. And this is a video from Masked Away, which is really fun. So we started, I'm going to mute that for you. So this is a game that we created, and this child over here is the photon, and these kids right here are the electrons. And what they did was the photon would throw the orange to the electron, and they would run down the line and then put the photon in the battery. So this was just a good example and something to get them engaged in what we were doing. And that was a lot of fun, and then they're cheering at the end because that team won. So the end part of this project is there's never an end, but I was talking with Fiona, and what we would like to do is we would like to either develop this into a consistent senior project, or we would develop it into an actual class where we can teach how to involve kids or college students in these types of projects, because as engineers, as business majors, as anybody that we're going to be going to the working world, we need to learn how to involve communities, not only in developing communities, but also communities here at home, because the people need to know what they're getting into, the people need to know what they're paying for, and they need to know how to maintain it. So that's a big focus of our project, and thanks for listening.